All right. Good morning. It's Thursday, March 18th, day 4 of hiking. I think I've done about 22 miles in the last 3 days, so adding a little bit every day and not going to get too bad. So I'm at New Hope Overlook, and that is part of Jordan Lake in Chatham and Orange County. I live in Chatham County, and this is not too far away. Got a couple trails here, the blue trail, the red trail. Combine them together, it's 5.4 miles, and if you do each one separately, it's 2.7. So I'm going to do the blue trail twice and the red trail once, so that should give me a total of about 8 miles a day. Got a little bit of elevation change, not too much, even though it's near a lake. There's some hills out here, and so today it's about 50 some degrees, and let's see, it's pretty nice. It's drizzling a little bit. I've got my umbrella up, but it's not terribly bad out here, and hope to get some practice in, and I'll check in with you later. There's our first view of the lake. Probably in about a quarter mile, and a little a little inlet of the lake out there. Kind of misty out there, you can't see much. I did hear a boat out there, I believe, and I forgot to mention when I started to leave that there were 0 vehicles in the parking lot at the boat ramp. So I think I have the whole place to myself, and that's it out there. So here I am at the quote-unquote overlook, and I guess this is excellent training for the Appalachian Trail. I figure I'll huff and puff up to the points where you're supposed to have a good view out across the mountains, and this is probably what I'll see. Not a lot. All right, later. All right, just came out of the woods, and this is a little gravel road. If you go up that, right around the bend, there is a small parking area, and that is where campsites A, I think it's numbers 1 through 9. There's 9 sites up there. Got plenty of room in between them. They're a typical campsite. They're primitive. You got to walk into them, but they're really only 100 yards to, at max, a quarter mile from the parking lot, and I'm saying max. And about halfway in, there's a pit vault toilet, and there's a pump for water. You can get some water up there. Plenty of room up there. Each site has a picnic table and a fire ring, etc. And now we're going back into the woods. Just came out of the woods, made it to the other side, which is the B campground. That's just a service road there. We'll be walking back into the woods, and if you go to the left here, that goes up to the campground, and that campground has 15 spaces with 2 pit vaults and 2 water pumps or whatever, and that probably about 200 yards up there, come to the parking lot, but we're going to go this way to do the loop. So I've been out here probably 5 times camping, and a couple times backpacking, camping up at B to get a sense of remoteness. I did that last year, and between COVID and what have you, I had the place to myself just like today. And then speaking of today, the sun just came out a couple minutes ago. It's in and out of the clouds or whatever, but temperature is now about 66, and I think the humidity is 127%. I know that's inaccurate, can never be more than 100, but boy, it feels that way. It's really probably about 80 to 90%. Just the air is just dense with the water. So I'm going to move on, and I'll talk to you later. All right, now you can see a little bit better out there for the lake. Fog has lifted out there, and I just noticed that we got a hiker down, horizontal hiker. All right, keeping on. Something I gotta let go of. Every time I'm walking through the woods, I get a few leaves every now and then, and I want so desperately to kick them off, and then I end up damn near tripping on the poles. I just got to realize that they're going to get picked up and then they'll fall off sooner or later. Let it go, Fulton. Somewhere around 4.5 miles in for the day, and we're walking along the edge so we can get a view of the lake out there. I believe Daniel Moore has a few projects out here, some benches. I think I've seen his name before. Anyway, thank you for putting in the bench here from Troop 204. And this is the view that he provides us. Nice little resting spot for anybody who wants to take in a view of a little cove of the lake. Thank you, Daniel. My nemesis, a low tree blow down over the trail. I got to bend down to get underneath of it, get the pack underneath of there. And quite frankly, just a little muddy. And I realized that this trail is like a hiker cemetery. They're down everywhere. All right, end of day 4. I made one big loop out here plus a couple little side things. It says I got 6 miles in. I just know that I was sweating up a storm out there. It was so humid out there. I took my shirt off trying to let it air out on the back of the seat so I don't stink up the car too much. Get that hiker stuff. And I'm going to try to keep the camera aimed up a little bit so nobody can see my big belly and lack of muscle tone. But it was a good day. And let's see, I probably did about, 2,500 feet of elevation gain and descent, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I'll have to go check it out on AllTrail, but it's just a little after 3, so I got it in about 2.5 hours, maybe just under 2.5 hours. Not a record pace, but that's okay. And it looks like the weather is starting to turn sour back in the back. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some dark clouds back there, and I know we're in for some wind and some thunderstorm possible. Tornadoes maybe a little west of here, but I don't think we're going to get hit by it, but no sense in risking it going back out there for another hour and a half or whatever to do another partial loop. So I got in a lot today and I feel pretty good, and the legs feel fine. I can tell I'm building them up, and here comes the AT. Relaxing into a nice hiking day. Sitting at the City Tap in Pittsburgh, enjoying a PBR. I was wrong. The second one is much better than the first one.